Hello everyone, my name is Sutton, and I have a confession to make regarding Vayaqhel and Pequdei. For many years, I found them to be a bit repetitive, dare I say even boring, but all that changed when I moved to Israel and I started working in the high-tech industry, because that's when I realized that so much of the crucial Hebrew vocabulary for computers comes straight from the descriptions of the Mishkan in these Perashiyot. So in this video I'm going to give you my list, the top 7 words that everyone must know to work with computers in Hebrew. And we'll start with number 1, Misrad. That's the office, the place where we go to work, or at least we used to before COVID-19. And that comes from the description of the dress code of the Kohanim. Pequdei hasirad lesharet b'kodesh, the clothing of officiating. It's a bit ironic because the dress code in Israel, especially for engineers, is famously quite casual. But anyway, let's say we're at the office now, we want to start working, but we see this very disturbing message on our computer, can't find the server. So server is our second word. It's known as a sharat in Hebrew, which comes from the same verse we just read, lesharet b'kodesh, to serve in the sanctuary. So sharat is server. Now, what are we going to do? The first thing we learned in engineering school is try turning it off and turning it back on again. So the first thing we want to reset is our computer. And that is our third word. Mahsheb is a computer in Hebrew. That comes from the description of the responsibilities of Bezalel, the architect. It says he had to be able to make computations and calculations. So a computer is a machine whose primary function is to compute things. And we also have a mahshebon, is a calculator, sort of like a mini mahsheb. So in order to reset the computer, we need to find the power button. And the button is our fourth word. Kaftor is a button in Hebrew. That comes from the description of the menorah. It was decorated with cups and buttons and flowers. Gibi'aiha kaftorea ufraheha. So we find the power button, reset the computer, but that's not enough. We have to be connected to the network. So check our router, make sure it's hooked up. And the network is our fifth word. Reshet is a network in Hebrew, and that comes from the Mizbeach. That is the copper net design around the middle of Mizbeach. In addition to being connected to the network has to be connected to the internet, which is Mirshetet in Hebrew, based on that same word of Reshet. Although I must be honest, the word Mirshetet didn't really catch on so well with Israelis. They still just call it internet. What can you do? You win some, you lose some. Finally, we're hooked up to the internet, but now our computer's running out of battery. We gotta make sure it's plugged in. This is not gonna work. This is the wrong plug for an Israeli socket. We're gonna need our sixth word, which is mita'em, the adapter. And that comes from the description of the krashim, the beams that form the structure of the Mishkan. It says about them, Vahayu to'amim midlemata. They all had to be matching to each other at the bottom. They had these protrusions that fit into the sockets, the adanim. And since they had to be matching, mita'em is something that makes a plug match into the socket. And finally, once our computer is charged, we can start working. We're going to look at the screen, which is our seventh and final word. Masach is a screen in Hebrew. That comes from the screen door at the entrance to the courtyard of the Mishkan. Vaya'as masach, the fetah ha'ohel. Those are all our words. Now you're ready to start working with computers in Hebrew in Israel. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this makes Vayaqhel Pequdei more interesting for you as it did for me. Have a great day.